What's up, my DGen family? What's going on, guys? Having a nice little evening this evening, eh? Nice little recovery pump going on across the board. All right. A little Matthew McConaughey for you to start the stream, you know what I'm saying? You degenerate bastards. What's going on? Okay, so 3 green candles in a row for JASMY on the daily time frame. We are already up pretty big on the day. 2 cents, 1.59. JASMY's making another run towards that 200-day SMA. Very nice. Can we get it done this time, guys? We have ourselves a bit of a triple bottom forming here. Very nice. Very nice triple bottom. Triple bottom equals pump action, guys. So we'll see what happens. Jumping over to Bitcoin. Let's see what's going on over on the Bitcoin chart. All right, so ping-ponging, guys, just like I said we would. I said we were going to meet resistance here. There's about, I can't remember exactly how much. I have the metric later in the stream, so stick around for that. But there's a whole crap load of sell orders and shorts at $98,800, okay? It's going to take us a little bit to chip away at those sell orders and stuff, right? So we're going to have to keep that in mind, guys, right? It's not just going to be a hot knife through butter through 100K, just like I said. Just like I said. All right, what else do we got going on? Let's look across the bubbles here, shall we? Mobile's down 12.3%. Everything else looks fantastic. Algorand up 25.3%. JASMY up 6.4%, guys, up 2 spots in rank. Back up to $1.05 billion market cap. The volume's climbing 194.57. Things are looking fantastic across the broader market. What do we have? Look at this. XLM 54%, Corium 61, HBAR 34. Holy crap, guys. XRP was going crazy. It got as high as $1.61 before correcting. So Cardonzo, AVAX, ICP, Mana, all having fantastic runs. VeChain, Atom, Cosmos, very nice. Very, very nice. So, yeah, a bit of a recovery. Everybody's portfolio should be looking pretty green right now. Everyone should be pretty happy. Love to see it. Love to see it. All right, a little bit of a AMA from Hara, a little bit of an update on his AMA information, because a lot of people have been asking a lot of questions, okay? So, courtesy of a friend of the channel, Neo-Sun, Neo-Extrix, says, for those who missed the messages shared during the AMAs, here's what Hara said about Binance and Panasonic. Don't think for a second that JASMY claims to do something and overnight everything will already be in place. With strict regulations and massive scale of tasks to accomplish, nothing happens in a single night or day or even a few weeks. Hara-san said, as stated in the white paper, JASMY coin will not burn tokens. Instead, they will be removed from the market to be converted exclusively for the ecosystem locking purposes. So as opposed to burning tokens, they've decided to incentivize the community through the ecosystem to lock up their tokens, building up a massive TVL, total value locked. The more tokens that are in the TVL, the higher the value is of the ones in your wallet. So that is absolutely fantastic. So that is still on board, guys. That is still on track, locking up inside the ecosystem. It's coming. What else do we have, though? We have a couple more topics that Hara touched on, okay, including the Innovation Zone, Binance, and Panasonic. So he says, regarding the partnership with Panasonic, Panasonic will provide data through the IoT devices to facilitate JASMY's PDL. So all of the devices that Panasonic manufactures will be feeding data back to the personal data locker, the PDL system, right? Which is only going to increase the value of the ecosystem, because the more data that the PDL contains and accumulates, the more companies are going to want to utilize said data. It's going to become a marketplace for data, for platinum data, guys, right? Very, very bigly. First, we will jointly develop the IoT platform and combine IoT data and personal data. This is the first model. So, guys, they are currently working on the platform. It is currently in development. They've been building it since March. Hopefully, it is almost done. They said it would take about 6 months to complete. However, guys, you know how it is, especially in the tech world, or if you've ever done any kind of home improvements or anything like that, you walk in the room and you go, this is going to take me 5 hours to do. And then 4 days later, you're still not done, right? That's life, man. That's life, right? So they'll get it done. They're burning the midnight oil, I'm sure, to get this platform developed. So I'm not worried. After that, there's a prospect of expanding into other businesses. So that's the plan here, is to expand into other branches. Junction is set to expand into other branches of Panasonic's, business, right? And Panasonic has a big vision for the future, including using other token features and considering other chains. This means further focus on interoperability and open source blockchains. An all-chain bridge would be fantastic. Future development of JASMY block scanner, and also they want to create their own explorer on their L1 blockchain that is similar to Etherscan, right? To make sure everything, all transactions in the ecosystem are fully transparent. Then he says about Binance, okay? This is for all you people asking about Binance. He says, we met with Binance guys at ETH Denver and are continuing to work towards our goal. We may not have all the answers on how to remove JASMY from the monitoring zone, but we will continue to work with great companies and products while building the new token ecosystem. We will do our best on this important issue, and we will also be in contact with Binance. My favorite conditions, such as many favorable conditions, such as achieving the market capitalization of $1 billion, which they did achieve. The members on the board of directors and I are confident, so we will continue to build the platform of token economy for lockup and the super wallet, the JASMY super wallet functions. The transition JASMY to transition JASMY to an ecosystem that includes Junction. And that is another thing that gets lost on a lot of people here, is that JASMY, I've expressed this multiple times now, guys. JASMY is the utility token inside the Junction ecosystem, okay? So think about it this way. Junction is a lock. JASMY is a key. That's how it works. They're not two completely separate entities and two separate tokens and stuff like that. So there you go, guys. Very bullish stuff. Who's got 2 thumbs and brings you the alpha? This guy. Right? So shoot me a sub, guys. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button. Definitely means a lot. And check out, guys, check out the Patreon. It is 10% off right now. Holiday season sale. Link is in the pinned comments. Check that out. You don't want to miss it. Furthermore, moving on to more of Hara's quotes. So Hara had said, JASMY and Panasonic Advanced Technology began collaborating and developing a platform. As I said, this was back in March. He said, we will spend 3 to 6 months building a platform that ties a personal data locker, a decentralized database, and the IoT that allows device information to be attributed to individuals and provided to others securely. So in short, to connect the personal data locker, a database, and Panasonic's IoT devices that they manufacture all together. Okay. Said it would take 3 to 6 months. It's taken a little bit longer than that, but it's coming, guys. It's coming. You think this technology is easy to build? Like you could just, it's not a bed frame from IKEA. Come on. Right. All right. Eleanor Tourette tweets out. Donald Trump has chosen Scott Bessent. I'm probably saying that wrong. To be the next Secretary of the Treasury. Check out what he told Fox Business about crypto this year. Check it out, guys. This is the new Secretary of the Treasury.
I've been excited about the president's embrace of crypto, and I think it fits very well with the Republican Party, the ethos of crypto is about freedom, and the crypto economy is here to stay. The Democrats are running from it because they're trying to wash off the stench of Sam Bankman-Fried and his family's donations to the Democratic Party. So they're willing to take down a whole industry because of bad behavior on their part, bad behavior on one actor. And I think that everything's on the table with Bitcoin. And to me, one of the most exciting things about Bitcoin is for a generation of investors who maybe post the great financial crisis have been looking for investment opportunities, or maybe they'd soured on markets. Crypto is bringing in young people. It's bringing in the people who haven't participated in markets, and having a market culture in the U.S. and people believing that markets work for them is a centerpiece of capitalism.
That's your new Secretary of the Treasury, guys. Dude is bullish on crypto. Absolutely love to see that. Jasmy Captain says, Hara, he tagged Hara. He says, drip feed me the information and I will take charge of the communications on X and get this Jasmy community thriving like it once did. It's a shame that investors are leaving us when the project has so much potential. Let's make it better. Yes, I agree. Hara, shout out to Captain Jasmy Ambassador, friend of the channel. Absolutely, man. Absolutely agree with that. Slow drip that data, slow drip that information, get it out to the community. Let's have a little bit more transparency. Max Kaiser says, I think Bitcoin will reach $220,000 by Trump's inauguration. Yeah, well, I mean, I got a bridge to nowhere that I'll sell you to if you're confident, my friend. I don't think it's going to be that high, but hey, I hope so. I hope so. $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin shorts will be liquidated at $100,000. You see, that's what I'm saying, guys. $1.5 billion worth of liquidations on shorts will happen when Bitcoin gets to $100,000. Crazy. That's why the bears are fighting so hard to defend that level, guys. Okay, that's why it's not going to be going through like Swiss cheese. More bullish news for Bitcoin. Publicly traded Mara has bought in 5,771 Bitcoin worth $572 million. More Bitcoin just got scooped up and taken off of out of circulation. Bitwise CEO says this is the beginning of the next stage for Bitcoin.
Joining us is Hunter Horsley. He's the founder and CEO of Bitwise Asset Management. So Hunter, there's still a lot of pent-up demand for Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's remarkable, Kelly. In some ways, it feels like Bitcoin has been around forever now. We've been talking about it for years. It's 16 years old. But I think that 2024 was really the end of an early chapter and the beginning of a mainstream chapter. And we serve, we manage about 11 billion in client assets. We serve thousands of advisors, and the clear impression we have is that investors are engaging now. They view it as finally having matured enough, having the regulatory clarity they need. So somehow it feels like the beginning of the next stage of the journey. And
we were talking about this with Jan Van Eck earlier in the week, but we're somewhere, you can tell me, between, what is it, 18 and 19 million of the 21 million coins being mined?
That's right. Yep. About 19 million of the coins. So there's not a lot of, as Michael from MicroStrategy said, there's not a lot of new coins being mined. And that means that for new investors, there has to be somebody on the other side of that that's willing to sell, and that influences price. And And so, you know, I think we've seen a very strong demand side, and there's not a lot of supply for those investors.
Bill Miller has been making the case for a decade now that basically if you just have a lot of high net worth households all deciding they want to own one Bitcoin, for instance, that alone could drive up the price to something well north of where we are now. So I think he would echo those sentiments that it's still early days.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is absolutely early days. And again, it's kind of hard to imagine this has been around for so long. But, you know, I'll give you an example. We, you know, as mentioned, serve thousands of wealth management teams across the country. The day after the election, one of my colleagues got an email from a client. The subject line was, "It's time." And the content of the email was effectively that they want to go ahead and proceed with making a 1% allocation to Bitcoin. That hasn't even happened yet. You know, I have a call later today with the CIO of a $50 billion plus firm, and they said it's time, and the next step is to write a white paper in Q1 of next year. So what we see across the board is traditional capital markets participants are activating, but most of that is still in front of us. So yeah. I think Bitcoin has a lot of room to run.
So who's selling? Because every time we see the price wiggle, that means someone decided 99,100 was a good price. Do you know the share of institutional versus retail ownership these days?
Yeah, the retail ownership is very high in this space. You know, I believe it's north of 50%, maybe north of 60. You know, in terms of who's selling, it can be a variety of different stories. There's a combination of retail investors who want to take some gains. And also there's a large segment of hedge fund traders who are running strategies and trading around volatility that are often supplying, you know, sitting on the supply side, as well as, of course, the miners. So it's hard to put your finger on exactly who it is. But in general, the demand side has been so strong that it's pushed the price higher as it's outstripped the supply.
Wow, look at Coinbase now at 308. So its run also continues. Yeah. A lot of these. I mean, Coinbase is up. Could it have doubled in the past 2 weeks? It's just remarkable. I guess real quickly before we go on that, Hunter, do you think they're going to be disintermediated by Bitcoin ETFs, or is Coinbase still where it's at?
Coinbase, yeah. I mean, to your point, Kelly, Coinbase has just moved incredibly since the election, and I think this reflects the you know, the characteristic of this new chapter, which is a world in which there's no longer a regulatory headwind, but the space is being embraced. And I think people view Coinbase's future much more optimistically. I think the story on Coinbase, which they've said in earnings calls, is that it's Amazon for crypto. And they've now built out a number of business lines servicing both on-chain activities and investment in the space. So I think there's a ton of opportunity ahead for Coinbase. And I think we're going to see a number of IPOs in the future, and people are going to realize that there are several large crypto businesses that have been sitting privately that'll come to the market as well.
That would be enjoyable. I hope that's the case. And I think, like you were saying, there's also so many altcoins or meme coins, whatever you want to call them, that have also just been up huge the last couple of weeks, and they still are kind of the go-to for access to some of that. Hunter, thanks for joining us. It's good to check in. We appreciate it today.
Bitwise has their big time firms coming in for Bitcoin ETFs, guys. All right. My XRP people, let's check this out. XRP USD reaches 70 cents. The 70 cents. 702 retracement of the 2021-2024 range. Here's the significance. So in a recent analysis, prominent crypto analyst, blockchain backer, shared a key observation on the price movement of XRP USD, highlighting the cryptocurrency's recent retracement to the 702 Fibonacci level within the 2021-2024 trading range. This observation, paired with the graph he shared, marks a significant technical point for XRP traders and investors who closely follow the price movements through Fibonacci retracement levels. The chart in question, as shared by blockchain backer, showcases XRP USD trading just under $1.46, hitting the 702 Fibonacci retracement level. Fibonacci retracement levels are common tools in technical analysis, often used to predict potential support and resistance zones during price movements. These levels are derived from the Fibonacci sequence, which produces ratios like the 382, the 618, and the 702, frequently observed in financial markets. Right, the hiccups. In this analysis, blockchain backers specifically emphasize that the 702 level among traders, the 702 retracement is often seen as a critical threshold. If an asset's price retraces to this level, it suggests a potential point of resistance, possibly leading to a reversal. The retracement of the 702 from the peak signals that XRP has recovered a considerable portion of its losses from earlier declines without fully reaching the highs, often considered a make or break point for future price action. This technical occurrence is relevant due to XRP's historical performance and the wider crypto market sentiment. A push through the 702 retracement might signify a continuation of bullish momentum, while a failure to hold could lead to consolidation or downturn, inviting caution among traders. Shortly after blockchain backers tweet, another prominent analyst, Wizard of Ox, weighed in on the discussion. He suggested that XRP's movement at this juncture is crucial. According to him, reaching the 702 retracement of 2021 might trigger a cool down or a retest phase, implying that the price pullback could be imminent unless the bullish momentum strengthens. Wizard of Ox went on to predict potential scenario when XRP could continue its upward trajectory. In his view, if XRP sustains the momentum, it might reach the $1.98 mark, which would not only indicate a continuation but a rally of the rally, but also potentially flip the 702 level from a resistance point to a support zone. Very nice, very nice. This type of support resistance flip is bullish signal for many traders, as it demonstrates underlying strength and suggests that the market is absorbing sell pressure, readying for further gains. The recent price movement of XRP against USD should be considered within the broader cryptocurrency market landscape. Since the 2021 highs, XRP has experienced fluctuations influenced by external factors, including regulatory developments and broader crypto market sentiment. Technical analysis will continue to monitor XRP's behavior around the zone closely. On-chain data, trading volumes, and market sentiment will play critical roles in determining whether the bullish thesis holds or if the market opts for a more conservative pullback. So there you go. XRP, is it going to continue to the upside, or is a healthy correction in the cards? Let me know what you guys think about that. All right, what else do we got? Vivek says that there's 400. We got Michael Saylor talking Bitcoin once again.
The guys that buy my converts, when I sell a convertible bond, I have a 1 hour phone call. I'm like, okay, this is the bond. This is what we're going to do. Okay, they buy 800 million of it at the end of the day. Okay, why? It's like they have the money. They have to buy a convertible bond. They can't. They're like, why don't they buy Bitcoin? They can't. Why don't they buy your equity? They can't. They need to buy. There's a phrase in Wall Street: if the ducks are quacking, feed the ducks.
Real quick side note, guys. Earlier today, I had announced that Germany bought about 24.17% of MicroStrategy's convertible bonds.
They want that. There's another group of people, they want equity in a public company. They can't buy the spot ETF. They can't. It's against their charter. They get fired. They just can't. Why don't they? Well, you're questioning the world, right? I mean, at the end of the day, the world is made up of huge pools of capital, and it might have taken 20 years to raise the money. Now I got to spend the money. So if you are the entrepreneur, my general message is you can create a security that a capitalist can then use to get Bitcoin exposure. And if you're public, you sell public equity or debt and buy Bitcoin. And if you're private, you'll sell private equity or private debt and buy Bitcoin. If you can't raise money, then you just got to work very, very hard and get lucky. And it's hard. And you'll see a Zuckerberg on occasion. You'll see some breakthroughs. But, you know, it's like, it's not easy. And so my recommended strategy is not work yourself to death. My recommended strategy is notice that there are $450 billion of capital in bonds and real estate and traditional 20th century assets. There's 1 trillion. So there's 450 trillion in those things. There's 1 trillion in Bitcoin. You should be the conduit to move the next $1 trillion from the old world to the new world. And the way you do it is by raising money with issuing securities to buy Bitcoin. And you solve, what's the problem you solve? Custody it for them, buy it for them, take away the volatility, take away the downside risk, and then solve the compliance issue. Chinese billionaires got to buy Bitcoin through a Shanghai ETF, otherwise he goes to jail. Right. That's the problem you solve. It's not as good as self-custody. It's not as good as the raw Bitcoin, but that's academic, because when you've got $10 billion and your choice is buy $1 billion this way or go to jail or don't buy any, the answer, the world is imperfect. That's why they call it earth, not heaven.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. All right, what else do we got? Check this out, guys. Kraken has announced support for 19 new tokens. I don't know if any of these tokens are in your portfolios, guys, but Godius Maximus, Cow Protocol, Mega Trump, Notcoin, RSR rights, reserve rights, Vanry, Vanar Chain, Dogs, Liquidity, Mudang, Omni, SPX 6900, FWOG, Lock-In, Nero, Peanut, and TokenFi, all listed on Kraken. But it doesn't finish there, guys, because if we move over to Kraken Pro, what do we have? I showed you guys this yesterday. Boom. JASMY, Monday, November 25th. JASMY listed on Kraken Pro. Here's the hint right here, guys. Look at my cursor. JASMY. Boom. Roadmap updates every Thursday. Tier 1 listing for JASMY. Yes, you heard it here. Not first, but first enough. All right, what else do we got? Bloomberg TV says President-elect Donald Trump said he's nominating Scott Bissonnette, the guy we saw at the beginning of the stream. Let's hear about him.
We have gotten confirmation of what Bloomberg had already reported. The president-elect Donald Trump is nominating Scott Bessent of Key Square Group to be the Secretary of the Treasury. Donald Trump, in a statement posted on True Social, describing him as someone who has long been a strong advocate of the America First agenda, Joe.
We actually spent some time with the 62-year-old Scott Bessent right here at this table in Washington, D.C., Kaylee, not that long ago, when it was still unclear who was going to win the election. And of course, since then, we've heard any number of names bandied about. Scott Bessent has always been on the short list. We spent some time talking about his relationship with Donald Trump and what Donald Trump's relationship with the Federal Reserve will be. Let's listen.
He has a deep understanding of financial markets as opposed to most politicians. So he wants to be involved in the conversation. He has very well-formed opinions. He has a lot of private sector friends. So he just wants to be a voice.
Just part of our conversation that touched on a lot of themes, Kaylee. One thing that Scott Bessent was able to do was to convince the markets, to convince the news media that this idea of combining tariffs and tax cuts could result in meaningful growth. This is an idea that has had many, from economists to market watchers here in Washington, suggest that it could bring great deficits to Washington, D.C. Scott Bessent has been very effective in arguing against that idea to the point where Donald Trump thought he was the messenger for this job.
Yeah, and it's going to remain to be seen to what extent it is Scott Bessent's voice in the role of Treasury Secretary, if he is indeed confirmed for it, that will be the most defining or authoritative on economic policy. Keeping in mind here that someone else who was in contention for this position, Howard Lutnick, has been named to be Secretary of Commerce with, according to the president-elect, jurisdiction over trade and tariffs specifically. So how these departments will be working together in order to make Donald Trump's campaign agenda an actual reality is something we'll be watching here, as well as those who will have yet to be named to top economic positions, including on the National Economic Council and the Council of Economic Advisors. In part, in the statement Donald Trump has just put out on True Social, he has described that Bessent's role will be about putting the U.S. fully in a position of the world's leading economy and the center of innovation in entrepreneurism. He goes on to say that America will have the greatest economic boom in the great people of the United States of America essentially will be benefiting from Scott Bessent as Treasury Secretary.
Will ensure that no Americans will be left behind in the next and greatest economic boon. Glowing comments, as you would expect from the president-elect here, talking about somebody, by the way, who is a friend. They've spent a lot of time together talking about economic philosophy. Scott Bessent worked throughout the course of this campaign as an economic advisor to Donald Trump, and in fact helped to craft some of the speeches that were directed most specifically at the economy. Assuming that he is confirmed, Kaylee, we should also note the fact that he would be the first openly gay Treasury Secretary in American history as the 79th Secretary.
Why do you have to note that?
Yeah, certainly
Who cares who he likes to sleep with?
historically significant. And as you talk about this notion of friendship and having the ear of the president-elect, someone else who does, as we've come to understand, is Elon Musk, who actually, if we all recall, just days ago weighed in on the jockeying for Treasury and described Bessent as a business as usual choice. He was advocating for Howard Lutnick, but he said business as usual is driving America bankrupt. So we need change one way or another. Clearly, Donald Trump has not sided with Elon Musk on this, as he has named Bessent now to be Treasury Secretary. But I wonder if business as usual is actually what financial markets will have been looking for. And we'll have to wait and see the reaction to this pick when futures open on Sunday evening.
That's for sure. We have to wait till 6 p.m. on Sunday. Now, interesting timing, how this all dropped. The markets will have the weekend to decipher this. We have seen, by the way, a bit of a drop in Bitcoin, which is the one thing that we can kind of factor in. We talked a lot about, though, the impact that immigration, or the relationship that immigration has with our job market, and the impact that a mass deportation might have. Here's what Scott Bessent had to say about it.
In this cycle, when we had the massive inflation, we get, whether it's 11 million new arrivals, or as President Trump thinks, 21 million new arrivals, it does push down wages on the bottom quintile, which I think is abominable. These are working people, Americans, who are seeing their wages get pushed down.
But of course, as we consider the prospect of mass deportation of a lot of the economic policies, including around taxes that Donald Trump has talked about, it is not going to be entirely up to individuals like the president or the Secretary of the Treasury to actually enact those policies. There has to be a relationship here with Congress, who has authority over a lot of these monetary matters. So the relationship that Bessent will have on Capitol Hill is something to watch. In fact, most immediately, his ability to get confirmed by those on Capitol Hill in the U.S. Senate.
That's right. And after some of the other more controversial names that we've been talking about, this is not considered to be a very heavy lift for the transition team in achieving this confirmation. We'll have a long way to go here talking about this and the relationship that the Treasury will have with the Commerce Department, suddenly now overseeing the U.S. Trade Representative. When it comes to tariffs, this is going to be an interesting combination.
Yeah, and that reminds us that we still have yet to learn who the next U.S. Trade Representative will be, who will lead the National Economic Council, have those roles inside the White House. That also could be formative in the actual defining of policy and the implementation of it. But this was a large selection for a president-elect who campaigned almost entirely on the issue of the economy. We knew he was taking the role of Treasury Secretary very seriously. He took his time in making this decision, but now we've understood and we've learned that it is Scott Bessent who ultimately gets the nomination.
Yeah, it is. I like it. I dig it. I'm okay with it. All right, what else do we got? Speaking of appointees, SEC Chair candidate Teresa Gullin. We're going to call her Gullin. She says she wants to make crypto great again. This is a potential candidate for the head of the SEC to replace Gary Gensler. We went from one extreme to the other, guys. I love it. Teresa Gullin, the potential next SEC chair, has highlighted major changes coming to the agency under Trump's presidency. She shares her enthusiasm for making the SEC great again, and crypto great again. On her X post, she shared the press release by Gary Gensler's departure from the position. She says the SEC must restore trust, engage with industry, and end regulation by enforcement, while chanting Trump's popular slogan. Furthermore, she pointed towards SEC's reformation towards protecting investors and staging America as a prominent country on the world's financial front. It's time to knock down needless obstacles, remove burdens, clarify crypto rules, and promote innovation, says the Republican candidate for the SEC chair. It is expected that the appointment of Teresa for the SEC chair position could bring about changes beneficial for the crypto industry. She is a partner at Baker Hostler and also co-leads the blockchain practice related to the firm. She gives her this gives her the apt experience of establishing a bridge between financial sectors and the ever-changing crypto world. Moreover, her leadership skills can make regulations more collaborative for cryptocurrency. This could make up a solid rules regarding the attitude towards digital assets, further allowing crypto-related businesses to step into the legal industry while also becoming the traction for investments. As a major promise for this electoral campaign, Trump has vowed to fire Gary Gensler from the SEC chair. Following this press release, shares that Gensler will be officially parting away from his position effective January 20th, 2025. He joined the position on April 17th, 2021. During his statement at Practicing Law Institute's 56th Annual Institute on SEC Regulation, he reflected on achievements like reforms to Treasury markets, improvements to equity and market rules, and strengthening the corporate governance measures. Gensler also restated the agency's view that Bitcoin is not considered a security. Moving on, he also highlighted that other cryptocurrencies that checkmark the criteria of the SEC under federal law need proper registration and requirements for disclosure. Gary, those rules don't exist, and no one at the SEC, now that you're gone, is going to be pretending that they do. See you later, Gare Bear. See you later. Also, guys, speaking of Gare Bear departing, this little gem, John Dean says this guy was dead wrong on voting against a spot Bitcoin ETF as well as his views regarding crypto, but he isn't wrong about is going home to take care of his wife diagnosed with cancer and being with his family. God bless him and his family. Wish him the very best. Yes, of course, wish him and his family the very best. However, this is one of the arseholes who's been voting against crypto with Gary. Of course, you can't blame him. He has to vote with Gary. He needs snuggles from Gare Bear, right? What's he going to do without those? Screw him. See you later, buddy. You are out of here. What else do we got? Bitcoin is about to get a lot of media attention. Check it out. Here we are, according to Crypto Rover. We are in the media attention phase, getting ready for liftoff, baby. Let's frickin' go. More bullish news, guys, for the altcoins. Solana has reached a new all-time high. Yes. The big caps are starting to get back to their all-time highs. Guys, this is a sign that we're starting to get closer to altcoin season, okay? And what I mean by that is Bitcoin's continuing to run, right? We need to see Ethereum start to run, but we're starting to see the altcoins start to make moves back towards their all-time highs. Solana, XRP's been moving, Algorand's been moving, Ethereum's been moving a little bit, right? Once you see those bigger blue chip projects start to work their way back up towards their all-time highs, that's a sign, guys, right? So gotta pay attention. Gotta pay attention. All right, what else do we got here? John Dean tweeted out. This is Bassett again, the new Secretary of the Treasury, talking again.
Trump is stepping into a firestorm created by them. Remember, the theory of modern monetary theory is deficits don't matter. And hey, if they ever become a problem, we just raise taxes a couple of 100% and you pay it. It's all nonsense. It's all fantasy. It was a dangerous, stupid theory and we used America as the experiment. And now we're in it. President Trump is walking into a situation. The ticking time bomb on our national security is not Ukraine and not the Middle East and not even my beloved, let's take them down, Chinese Communist Party around Taiwan. The ticking time bomb on the national security of the United States is debt that's adding $1 trillion of debt every 100 days. And now the interest rates are we're paying over $1 trillion every year in interest. That's the ticking time bomb, and it's ticking loud and fast. So everything Bessent and Warsh and Larry Kudlow and everybody's trying to work together, and Navarro and the whole team with President Trump, a businessman and a financier, is to work in this. I know you got to bounce, but your term "spike the cannon" before they leave. Be specific about that. What does Scott Bessent mean when you use that quite explosive phrase, sir?
Well, so Steve, Janet Yellen, who I think is going to go down as the worst Treasury Secretary in modern history, has run an emerging market style election economy. So what has she done? She has we've run a 7% budget deficit to GDP, the largest deficit when there wasn't a recession and not a war. We have never done that before, and it is just pure spending. They tried to spend their way to a victory, like they do in Argentina, like they do in Turkey, and they have inflated an asset bubble in housing and in the stock market, but only the top 20% benefit from that. So you've got an asset bubble in housing and stocks, 20%, a 7% deficit to GDP. And then just like they do before an election in Turkey, she moved all the borrowing to the front end of the curve to keep interest rates down. And now that debt's going to have to be turned out. And that I think
hold it. Full stop. I need to hit. I know you got to go. I need a minute on this. It's like paying a mortgage on a credit card. Bessent came up with that phrase about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
It's like you're paying your mortgage on your credit card at 25% APR. Okay.
Ouch. All right. What else do we got here? Okay, so $1 billion short squeeze looms as Bitcoin price nears $100,000. Bitcoin's price has shattered another milestone, surging past $97,000 and gaining 3.4% in the last 24 hours, bringing the current price to $98,700. It's actually down to $98,400, but whatever, it's $300. This extraordinary rally is fueled by a confluence of factors. These include regulatory clarity, increasing market optimism, and growing institutional adoption. A positive uptick in multiple factors facilitated an extraordinary rally, including regulatory clarity, market optimism, and institutional adoption. With the Bitcoin price edging closer to the much-awaited $100,000 mark, traders are excited about the world's biggest cryptocurrency hitting this big figure. Crypto analyst Ki Young Ju says Bitcoin's bull market is well underway as indicator readings resemble those seen in 2020. The crypto quant bull bear market indicator signals a movement of the Bitcoin price from a bearish period to an early bullish cycle, going from blue regions to the orange regions. Similar patterns precede price jumps in previous cycles. The Bitcoin price consolidates before breaking into a potential rally, further adding to the bullish sentiment displayed on the overlaid price curve. The analysis compares data from 2020 and suggests another long-term bullish trend is likely, based on cyclical behavior and historical market behavior. It is a potentially big event in the Bitcoin market, says Ash Crypto. If Bitcoin price blows past $100,000, there's around $1.06 billion in short positions that will be liquidated. This looming event presents a great opportunity for a massive short squeeze, where a swift run up in price could lead to even more short sellers to cover their positions. Consequently, Bitcoin would effectively get a boost. The Bitcoin exchange liquidation map shows a growing risk for short leveraged position holders. As the Bitcoin price approaches this key threshold, The potential for an outbreak of cascading liquidations would trigger that kind of heightened volatility. Dark Faust reiterates that the S2F stock to flow reversion metric has hit the 2.5, and S2F stock to flow value of 2.5 usually signals an optimal time to take part of the profits from Bitcoin investments. The chart shows when similar levels have appeared before short-term price pullbacks on the bull market, this would be a good time to protect gains. Note that this doesn't mean the current bull cycle has peaked. It shows us that the market is picking up and that the bullish momentum is still around. The next critical profit-taking level may occur when the stock-to-flow reversion metric reaches 3.0, suggesting elevated market activity, he added. The data-driven approach gives insight into the value of utilizing the proven metrics to spend through the market cycle effectively and maximize revenue in Bitcoin price upswings. The Bitcoin price inches closer to the psychological $100,000 barrier. At press time, it was trading above $97,000, posting yet another week of profits. The Ichimoku cloud is still holding above it, and price action is strong since it has consolidated in the $93,500 to $97,500 range. It is highly likely to break out of this upside target as $100,000 and $110,000. The next target, if Bitcoin breaks above $100,000 is $110,000. If this does not hold the $97,000 support level, the retracement could go back down to $93,500, where stronger buyers may enter. So, are we going to break $100,000 and head up to 110, or are we going to fall below 97,000 back down to 93.5? That would be a good DCA opportunity. Right, what do we got? BTC collateralization in effect on mortgages. Check this out, guys. I played this morning. It's very interesting.
Andrew, I'm so pleased to be here. And I'm really excited to announce today on Squawk Box this loan that we've just completed. We combined a seasoned multifamily asset in Philadelphia, about 50 meters away from the First Bank of the United States, the one that Alexander Hamilton started. We combined that asset with around 20 Bitcoin. And we provided a loan to refinance the existing mortgage on the property, to provide the asset sponsor some funding for capital improvements, and with the remainder to buy the 20 Bitcoin.
Okay, we got to go backwards.
Go ahead.
You got to go backwards. We're just going to slow the whole thing down so everybody understands what happened. Okay, so there's a property.
Yep.
Physical property.
Multifamily. Right. Multifamily. 63 units.
The multifamily property. The sponsor, effectively the owner of that property.
Yep.
Needs a loan.
That's right.
Okay, they come to you.
That's right.
Okay, you say, we'll provide you the loan in the form of
a loan.
A classic loan.
That's right.
Okay. So you're going to give them cash.
That's right. Term financing.
Term financing. And how long's the loan? Just
10 years.
10-year loan. Okay.
That's right.
At above market rate or below, or what's
no market rate interest rate?
I'm just trying to slow the whole thing. Okay. Now let's introduce the Bitcoin piece into it.
That's right.
So no. Explain how the Bitcoin piece then relates. So the loan has been provided.
The use of proceeds is to pay off the existing financing. So
the use of the proceeds
of the loan is to retire the existing mortgage.
Right. So there's an old mortgage.
Gone.
They're going to pay the old mortgage off.
It's been paid off.
Okay.
Now they have a little bit extra money to make some improvements in the property.
Right. So a little bit extra cash. So the amount of money you've lent pays off the old loan.
That's right.
It's also you have a little bit of extra to fix
Improve
stuff
the
up.
Property, fix stuff up.
Yep.
And then with the remainder, which is a little bit
so you
more.
have even a little extra, an extra turn.
And that, instead of cash out, Bitcoin in. And we use it to purchase some Bitcoin and add it to the collateral package of the loan. So now our loan is supported by both the traditional asset, the 63-unit apartment building, and the Bitcoin.
Okay. So the loan, it was maybe $2 million more, so that's how you get the Bitcoin out?
Exactly right. So it's
on the assumption that the Bitcoin's going to rise faster, and that will become an asset.
Over the life of the loan, for sure. So we think on the downside, this provides us with much better protection compared to a traditional lender, because a traditional lender, if something goes wrong, they have to recover against that particular building, which is idiosyncratic risk. Something might happen with the maintenance or what have you.
But that also requires conviction on your end that Bitcoin is not a volatile asset over time, and that is either going to go up or at least stay where it is.
Well, that's by fusing the Bitcoin with credit and by fusing it with traditionally financeable assets, it gives us the luxury of expressing that medium-term view on Bitcoin, and that's what's key. It's volatile in the short run. You know, I mean, minute by minute today, who knows? It could cross 100,000. That would be exciting.
How long's the loan?
10 years.
10 years.
And the minimum hold period for the Bitcoin is 4 years. So what we say to the borrower is we say, look, you can repay the loan at any time for any reason with no penalty, which is a really valuable feature compared to a traditional loan.
Yeah, that's like a home mortgage.
Like a home mortgage almost. That's very unusual for commercial financing. But what we do say is that to the extent that the loan is repaid at year 4 or earlier, the minimum will release the property. But the minimum length of time that the Bitcoin has to stay in escrow is 4 years.
Andrew, go on to, because I don't know how it's done, but I'm fascinated about, there is a problem for state and municipalities in terms of the asset liability mix. Somehow you think that using Bitcoin, that you can lower that risk and increase returns and narrow the gap. How does that work for pensions?
Well, if you think about it, Joe, the average exposure to fixed income at U.S. pensions is around 25 to 30%.
Okay.
And many of them have an asset liability funding mismatch of around 25% as well. They're a big shortfall. That's going to be a big burden on taxpayers and a real problem.
We've talked about this so much and how to solve it.
Now, what they've been doing in credit is reaching for risk, going for super high yields, leverage, niche strategies. And I think that it's time to pivot away from those toward high quality credit, where the return per unit of risk is extremely attractive, but the returns are not as high. How do you compensate for that? You fuse the credit with Bitcoin, and you utilize the credit to express a medium to long-term duration. Because yes, if you have the Bitcoin for 1 day, 1 week, it's extremely volatile. But for 4 years, 4-year hold period, the worst ever return has been just over 23%. The 5th percentile, 30%. The 50th percentile, 91%. So if you take a small amount of Bitcoin and you add it to a large amount of high quality credit in novel lending solutions, novel structured credit pairings, what you can accomplish from an asset allocation and an overall portfolio strategy perspective is incredible. It can actually be a cornerstone to close the asset liability gap at pensions.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting concept, guys. I hope they move forward with it. More utility for Bitcoin and crypto. All right, guys, let's get back into the chat, see what's going on. Guys, as always, please do me a favor. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel grow. It means a lot. And it doesn't cost you anything. So, you know, that'd be awesome. Holmes, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. My Leafs jumped over, leapfrogged your Panthers in the Atlantic, brother. Let's go. Just chipping away at some more JASMY buys. Good day, y'all. Nice. What's up, brother? Lord of the Realm, good evening, everyone. Nice, steady climb for JASMY right now. Yeah, it's looking okay. 3 green candles in a row, guys. 3 green daily candles in a row. Batlander, what's up, man? Good to see you. Utility coins up bigly. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. It is a pretty good day right now for most utility plays. Hells yeah. All right. Green Tea, did BitBoy FOMO into Cardano? Yeah. First he says it's a dead chain, then he's giving it props. Yeah, that guy just goes with whichever way the wind is blowing, you know? Dumb Money, what's up, man? Liking this pump. Hell yeah. Chappie, the crypto future effect in action. Let's go, baby. Jackie, what a great day. Yes, it is great. It is one of many great days ahead. Magic Power in the house. Lily, yo, what's up, Lily? Good to see you as always. Volks, when at JASMY on Uphold? Good question, man. Good question. I have on my Coinbase Uphold would pump it. Yeah, Uphold probably would pump it. We need to harass them. Feeling good green. JASMY Kraken. Yes, JASMY is on Kraken. That's right, brother. Bruno's in the house. What's up, man? James, what's up, brother? Yo, what's up? Rob and Crypto Family. Rob, did you notice the Easter egg? Just showing a little respect to the Rob father. That's what she said. I dig it, brother. I dig it. Binance holds 10% of all the Jasmy. Yes, Boomer's in the house. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Steve says, Dogecoin. Yes, Dogecoin to the moon. Absolutely, man. WF Capital. What's up, fam? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. John 3:16. Jasmy, we need a rally. It's coming, brother. It's coming. Bless you too, brother. Bless you too, my friend. Jackie, do you own a full Bitcoin? Me? Yes, I am a whole coiner. Yes, I am. Randy, everything is pumping and Jasmy's not doing anything yet. Mean a bigger pump for Jasmy incoming. Yes, that is exactly what it means. Jasmy's going to have a face-melting pump, my friend. Multi-Planet Pro, am I reading this right? Jasmy has a short against it, the size of the entire market cap? Or is it Bitcoin? No, that's a short on Bitcoin, brother. That's it's short, not just one short. It's many clustered shorts on Bitcoin. David, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Kakashi, what's up, man? I probably butchered that name. I apologize. Rodney's in the house. Good evening, Rob. Boy, it's not easy seeing these coins pop, and XCN still kind of stuck in the zone, but I have conviction in XCN. Just being patient. That's how it's done, brother. That's how it's done. Coach, Crypto Nation is fudding Jasmy again and shilling a Terra Luna Classic. Make it make sense, Rob. Some YouTubers just don't know how to do research and just regurgitate old FUD pieces. Yeah, I mean, research, apparently it ain't for everyone, right? It ain't for everyone. So, Funky, what's up, man? Boom, XLM. Yes, XLM 54.8% up on the day for XLM. Let's check it out. Boom. Corium's pumping like a madman as well again. Rivers in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you. Wise Mind, XRP, Moonin was up very bigly earlier. It was up at $1.61 earlier. Rob, when your meme coin drop, yeah. Yeah, no kidding, eh? Pull a BitBoy and make a Rob coin, right? Now, I'll tell you right now, I've been asked 100 times to make a meme coin, but to be honest with you guys, I would be so bad with that stuff. I would mess around and create a rug pull on accident and end up rug pulling myself or something, right? So I don't even mess with that stuff, man. I don't even mess with that stuff. All right, guys. So listen, that is the chat. That is the news. Make sure you guys are getting over to the Patreon. I will be live over there shortly. Guys, there's a holiday deal on right now, 10% off over on the Patreon. The link is in the chat. It's in the pinned comments. It's in the description. Get your one-on-one scheduled with me personally and join our group Zoom calls. We are live over there every single day. I will be live over there within the hour. So get over there before I do. I will be live. I'll see you guys over there. Thank you so much. Be here every single day, 7 days a week, 1 o'clock p.m. Central, 8 o'clock p.m. Central. Live streams twice a day, every day. See you guys later.